Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is our second session related to Python, and today we are going to discuss on variable and string manipulation. So if you can able to recall, in our first session we discussed what is Python, what are the usefulness of the Python. That is the basic introduction part we have already done in our first session, and in that session we have already installed and download the Python in our system. So let me share my screen, and today we are going to discuss on chapter 2, that is variable and string manipulation. Okay, I believe you are able to see my PPT. So introduction part we have already covered in our first session, and today this is our second session, and today we are going to discuss on variable and string manipulation. Okay, so we are going to open the Python ideally. So we'll go to the search, type Python, and click ideally Python. Okay, so I'm just typing something, a equal to 1. Okay, now here a is a variable. So basically variable is a container which stores values. Here a is a variable, and it store a value of 1. So that is what I have mentioned here. So variable is a container which stores values. And here a stores integer values. Integer values. So what is the value that a store? A store integer values. 1 is an integer. So that is why I have mentioned here. Here a stores integer values. Okay. Now if I mention a equals to 1.4. Here a store decimal or floating values. Right. So what is the value of a? The value of a is now 1.4. So 1.4 is nothing but a floating value or a decimal value, right? Now, if I mention a equal to origin, for an example, okay? Here a stored a string values. So origin is a string, and we have stored this value in variable a. Okay. So basically what I am trying to say is, like, in a variable, we can store different type of values. It can be an integer value, which is 1. It can be a decimal or a floating values, which is 1.4 here. It can also store string values, which is Arijit in our example. Okay. Now, we can also declare variables in terms of other variables. For an example, a equals to 3. So a is a variable, and we are assigning a value of 3. Now, b equals to a. So b is also a variable. Okay. So now if we print b, we will get a value of 3. That means what exactly happened here? Here, the values on the on the right hand side are loaded from the memory. Are loaded from the memory. Memory is a place where fields are saved. We store the final value in left hand side. Okay, so when we are mentioning b equals to a, that means we are assigning the value of a, that is 3, to b. Okay, so that is what I have mentioned there. This store the final value in the left hand side. So b is in the left hand side. So whatever the value of a, we are assigning it to b. So whenever we are mentioning print b, we are getting the value of 3. Okay. Now, way of defining multiple variables. Defining multiple variables. How we can do that? C equals to B equals to E equals to A. Okay, so C is also a variable, D is also a variable, E is also a variable, A is also a variable. Right? Now we have already mentioned the value of A is 3. That means we are actually assigning that 3 value to E, to D, to C variable as well. Now how you can able to identify that one? If you now print C, you will get a value of 3. Okay. If you want to see the value of D, just mention D, hit enter, you will get the value of 3. For E also, you can just do print E, you will, and hit enter, you will get the value of 3. Otherwise, you can also mention E and hit enter, you will get the value of 3. Okay. Or else what you can do, there is one another way to define multiple variables. Okay. Or you can do variable A, comma B, comma C equals to 1, comma 2, your name. Okay. Hit enter. Oh, sorry. So A, comma B, comma C equals to 1, comma 2, comma. I just missed to mention the comma here. Okay. So that is why it is showing us incomplete input. Okay. So what we actually did here, we have assigned the value of variable A as 1, the value of variable B as 2, and the value of variable C as this string. Okay. So if you now hit enter and put A and hit enter, what should come up? It should give you a value of 1. See, it is coming up 1. Now, if you hit enter C and hit enter, what is the value you should get? You should get the string value, that is your name. It is coming up your name. Now, if you want to print the value of B, what should come up? It should come up the integer value, that is 2. Okay. In Python, you can mention strings both in single quote and double quote. Okay, so for an example, if you mention variable A equals to, in a double quotation, ABC, and print A, it is coming as ABC. Okay. Similarly, if you mention variable A equals to, in a single quotation, BCD, So here we have mentioned single quotation, okay, and here we have mentioned the double quotation. Now if you hit enter and want to see the value of a, just put a and hit the enter, you will get the output as bcd. So basically what we are trying to say in Python, you can mention the strings both in single quotation and double quotation. Okay, so that is the end of our today's session, which is part 1 of chapter 2, variable and string manipulation. In our next session, again, we are going to continue the same chapter, that is string manipulation part, because we have not covered the entire topic yet. Till then, happy learning and stay tuned. Thank you.